Dustin.
What's up, man?
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing this show? 14 years?
Yeah,
The
roughly.
first time we've recorded it in person.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I'm in your lovely home.
Yeah.
And your very sweet wife laid out snacks and coffee for me.
Yes.
I ate one of these bars already.
Did you really?
Yeah, you went to the potty.
You scarfed it, dude.
I ate it.
Good Lord.
So I'm taking this other one.
Okay.
It was good.
What flavor did you go with?
Both of these are like cookie dough or chocolate,
Okay.
like cookies
Yeah,
and cream.
Yeah.
So this is a cookie dough one.
Gotcha.
So for context, I don't know when this is coming out, but hopefully
Hold on. How do I change the volume on my headphones
on
here?
your headphones is down there.
I hear you in my soul.
Oh, sorry.
I got you. We're good. You settled back and you said, all right, so, and I was like, God, I feel the vibrations in my bones. Brought to you by Liquid Death.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hold this. I changed my mind. I'm just going to put this on the couch and hope this works. This is going to be fun editing out all the
rumbling.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm just going to have to Larry King it over on this.
I'm on DuckTales, Larry.
I was literally thinking of that on the way up to this wedding because, so to back up, I'm in Georgia for a family wedding, and due to family circumstances with my kids' pickup and their mom's schedule, I went to this 4:00 wedding today, and I left at about 6:45 to come to Dustin's house. I got here about 8:30, and we have been hanging out playing Super Smash Brothers for about, an hour?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
And now we're doing this, and as soon as we're done podcasting, I'm leaving, and I'm driving home, which is another 4.5-ish hours.
Yeah.
So that I can be in town to pick up my kids. And it has to be so early because their mom has to leave her place at 5:30. So I have to be there. So I'm going there. She's left a key out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go sleep on her couch and maybe get a couple hours of sleep.
Sure.
So I was thinking about, Larry, I'm on DuckTales because on the way up here, I was like, I gotta make sure I tell the DJ to play DuckTales.
Yes.
Like I did at John's wedding.
Yes.
And I literally did tell him that before I left. So I don't know if he did. I don't know if he followed through. It was one of those things where I was like, well, I won't be here to enjoy it, but perhaps everyone else can reap the fruits.
But let's be fair. So at John's wedding, that was an Orlando wedding. All Disney music was on the table. So there's a very real possibility that this was not on the table for him.
Well, I was like, hey, you should do that. I'm in the line for the bathroom, by the way. So I'm just he's just standing there. I'm just standing there. And so I was like, hey, you should play the DuckTales theme song. And he was like, the what? Like, oh no.
Oh no, he doesn't know what DuckTales is.
So I was like, life is like a hurricane here. And he's like, oh, and he's like, yeah. I said, it's kind of a secret banger.
How old was he?
50 something.
Okay. That makes more sense, but you should still so how would you explain it to somebody who's like, what's a ducktail?
I don't know what so he was like, I can Google it. And then he said, but I think he was either completely lying and deciding to add color to his lie.
Sure.
Or he did recall it. Because then he was like, yeah, someone should do like he's mentioned some DJ, Marshmello, I think.
Yeah.
Is that
that's
person?
That's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was bullshit. Like, I don't know if Ding Dong and Rip Rap should make a single. He was like, Marshmello should get together with like Bad Bunny or somebody and do a remix of that. And I was like, that'd be pretty awesome.
So I know that both of those things are true, but that really does seem like he's just trying to placate you.
He's just waiting for the John to open so I'll leave.
That's literally like he's just throwing like things at you to make it feel like he listened to you. You know what? Charlie XCX and Post Malone should do a DuckTales.
And then he just starts saying names like, Will Smith, Adele, The Weeknd.
Yeah, right. Or I guess if he's
Kanye West.
Yeah, if he's in his 50s, he's actually going a little further back than that.
Guns N' Roses.
Van Halen should do a cover of the DuckTales.
Michael Jackson should do something with that.
He's dead, sir.
What?
Why hasn't anyone told me Michael Jackson is dead? When did that happen?
Oh my God, I have to go.
The king of pop? Are we talking about the same Michael Jackson? The one with the boys?
Yes, sir.
Neverland Ranch. That Michael Jackson? We're talking about two different Michael Jackson. That Michael Jackson is not dead.
No. I don't think so.
The chimp, what was his name?
I think it was Bubbles, sir.
Bubbles? You're screwing with me.
Here we are doing our first ever in-person podcast, and
that feels improbable.
I know, but we've never done it.
No.
All the times we've met up have generally been around not doing a podcast circumstances.
Right. Once every 3 to 5 years.
We're at somebody's wedding, and then it's like, there's absolutely no time or interest for anyone.
Yeah, right.
Including us to do this.
Right. What if we had done that at John's bachelor party? We just
made everyone do
everyone's like, all right, what are we gonna do, guys? We're gonna play games, and we're like, nope, sit down. And we have like 8 microphones with the arms, and like sit down.
Yeah,
there's cameras, a whole camera crew now.
Yeah, we got all these liquid deaths.
As an engineer, right.
Glasses of water, and everyone take a seat. Here's some supplements we're gonna ask you to hawk.
Ricardo needs everyone to clap. Let's go down the line and clap. Ricardo, did you get that?
At the end of it, we're like, okay, and John, we're so happy for your wedding, and we wish you the best of luck. Is there anything you'd like to plug while you're here? Is there anything you'd like to sell? What do you have coming up?
Wedding.
My marriage. Cool. Yeah.
And when does it come out? Tomorrow, 2 p.m.
When does it come out?
And where can we see it? Is it going to be on
Can I watch it? Can I watch it on my Roku?
It's on the Roku Plus Weddings channel. That's what the future is going to be. Everyone in the world is going to have a podcast, and they're all going to be doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to influence the way we talk, and everything is a sale.
Yep.
We do have a movie to talk about. Let's talk about K-pop Demon Hunters.
Mm-hmm,
yes, hunters, plural.
It's time. The world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
Hey! This is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here!
They're stealing the souls of our fans? Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong!
Yeah!
Let's get battle ready.
I can destroy the hunters for good. It's time for a new strategy.
The demon boy band? They're coming after the fans.
You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. The Sasha Boy.
Let's go get these guys. You think we're just gonna let you steal our fans? You're gonna have to fight us for them.
Yeah, this plane's trashed. Everything is at stake.
This is never a movie I thought I'd be seeing, but then then I heard nothing but like everyone talking about. Like I don't ever get like universal feedback from my in real life people.
Yep.
I was at a thing at the office. Like I like on Sunday, I was hearing about how good it was, and then on Monday, people at the office were like, "Oh, I took my kids to see the sing along version of theaters, K-pop Demon Hunter," and then like the next day it happened, and then you were like, "Hey, I saw K-pop Demon Hunter." I was like, "My God,
everyone's seeing this.
What is this?"
Well, so I knew nothing about this. Like this was completely off my radar. And then my brother randomly asked me if I'd seen it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he's like, people keep recommending it to me. And I was like, okay. And so we watched the trailer and I was like, okay, that looks like something I'm probably not going to watch. But I was like, but maybe, I mean, I don't know, whatever. And so, yeah, it was just like, whatever. And then at work, we're going to be doing a screening and I got tasked with like creating an event around it. And I'm like, oh, I need to watch this then. And so I watched it just completely sight unseen, other than like I saw the trailer, but I didn't, log it in my brain. So yeah, it was like a complete blind watch for me.
This film is directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans.
Appelhans.
That is a delightfully, I was going to say German name. The dude's American.
I was going to say it's a delightfully delightful name. Like no one named Appelhans is going to hurt you.
Now, we were talking about a guy named Helm Hammerhand. That man's going to hurt you.
Yeah, Helm Hammerhand.
But Apple Hands, sweet as can be.
Would you like an apple?
Would you like an apple? I am Chris Applehands. Eat my hands. Screenplay. Few people, including Maggie Kang and Chris Applehands, Danya Jimenez, and Hannah McMecken. That's tricky names here tonight. Throw me for a loop. Starring are the voices of Arden Cho, An Hyo Sop, Mei Hong, Ji Young Yu, and some other people I don't want to name yet, not because I can't, but because I have specific things to say about them. People you've heard of. So this is a Netflix film. I think it's also in theaters. I saw this after everyone was like, you should see it. And then you saw it and said that it was worth checking out. And then my kids had already seen it. So I was like, well, I'm going to watch it. So if y'all want to pop in here and participate. And so they did. It's a film about this pop trio who are also demon hunters. They are like historically bestowed demon hunters. And, through their singing, they are essentially maintaining this veil between the demon world and real world. And as long as they are successful and happy in their careers, the veil is upheld. And then the demons kind of think of their own way to combat this. And so they launch their own pop group, this boy band, and starts messing with Huntrix's success. And then there's other things that are happening that are, character based and secrets and all that stuff. So I thought it was fine. I remember during it, I kept thinking like, this isn't really my style. It's very, obviously its humor and its pace is influenced not only by American sensibilities. And so there's a few gags and jokes that are like, very anime, very visual, very, just very quick, very, very rapid fire. And that's generally not the thing that gets me to like laugh out loud.
Sure.
While I did think that there were good jokes in the movie. Like I thought it was it's not my style. It's just not suited to my funny bone the way it is for audiences kind of globally. But that says the serious and the grave aspects of the story were interesting to me. Like anytime they reminded you of like the stakes or the antagonists or the seriousness of what was happening, that's where it engaged me. Because for a while, like when they're showing you like the status quo, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into this because like I'm not drawn to K-pop or this kind of music. I just don't know if I can engage with it. But once they kind of reminded you of like why something was important or why something was complicated, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I think the fantasy elements kind of or whatever. But the action and the animation are really great. I think the voice acting is top notch. I think the story's good. So, if you're on the fence about this, I think you can watch this with your kids and they'll be entertained. And, you, the adult, you have a decent story and characters to chew on. I just don't think it's like mind-blowingly good. It didn't really live up to the hype of people unanimously recommending it. But it's also an acquired taste that way. So it's, I'd say if you're on the fence, check it out. It certainly wasn't long. It wasn't meandering.
No.
So yeah, what did you think of this?
So I'm going to be weird here.
Why are you naked, Dustin?
I said I was going to make it weird. Normally we podcast apart for a reason.
This is why we don't do this in person.
I love this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like I have not stopped thinking about it and like listening to it for days, like since I watched this movie. I loved so much about this movie. Now,
really?
Is it a perfect movie? Absolutely not. Does it have some issues, particularly in its third act? Yes. Did I really love it anyway? Absolutely.
Wow.
So from the beginning, it starts with, all the historicity behind the trio, right? It's like they're reincarnated, or maybe not reincarnated, but that role, that protector role is bestowed on, these girls, this trio of girls every time, right?
Yeah, every generation.
It's hard. It didn't quite seem like reincarnation, but the role is given to 3 girls each generation.
Yeah. It's like the Slayer. It's like Buffy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess it wouldn't be reincarnation because if Rumi's mother was a demon slayer, then they couldn't have coexisted. So yeah, it feels
unless they can.
Unless they can, or unless like one of the other girls died, and then anyway, but that seems weird.
That's a little dark.
So, but yeah, so regardless, each generation there are 3 girls that are selected that have this power to sing and protect the world and just like drive the demons back and whatnot. And so anyway, like from that, I was like, okay, that's a fine premise. Mm-hmm. It's fine, cool. I didn't hate anything about it. I heard the only critique I'd heard was like the animation style was a little janky. And I'm like,
I didn't think so.
Like it felt a little bit like Spider-Verse, but not even as janky as that. And like that's not janky. That's like purposefully.
There's a frame rate that's.
Yeah. And this didn't even feel like that. This felt fine. I didn't think anything of it. Like honestly, Predator: Killer of Killers was more jarring than this was, or even The War for the Rohirrim. So it was a more jarring animation style. So
the animation's great for this.
I enjoyed it. From there, I was like, okay, cool. I'm on board. That's fine. And then the first song happens. I was like, okay, I'm either going to really like this or I'm not. Mm-hmm. And there's not going to be much about that, like that I can do about it, right? Like either it's just going to tap into something or it isn't. And like halfway through the song, I was like, I like this. Like this isn't my style of music by any means. I'm much more of like, a rock and roll dude. And so like K-pop means nothing to me. But like, not because I hate it, but because I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And so but I really enjoyed the first track and I was like, okay, cool. Like, great. And so, I enjoyed the humor. I enjoyed, so much of like the fight choreography and even the dance choreography, like all that stuff was really great. And the girls themselves immediately reminded me of Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
It's a trio of girls. You've got your leader, your tough one, and your cutesy one.
Yeah.
And it felt very much like that. And so
you're right.
I was immediately on board like, oh, cool. This is just Powerpuff Girls. Cool. I like Powerpuff Girls. And so like maybe that helped like ease me into it. Like, oh, this is already something that I genuinely like. Or at least taking some sort of cue from it. And then, like the animation, just like when I say animation in this case, I mean like the acting animation I thought was really well, really done really well where, like obviously the vocal performances are great, but then there's all the humor in the animation.
Yeah.
And the acting in the animation and all of that was done really well. There was so much life to these girls.
Yeah, and their performances were also like they were at times like very naturalistic. Like their banter was not what I am used to with animation. Like animation typically tends to feel like because it is recorded in a vacuum
Yes.
and in isolation. And this felt like these three were like
Alive.
in a booth with each other, alive at the same time. You know, little noises, like just their timing. It was either extremely well directed, in isolation, or it was deliberately recorded as a group.
Sure.
Which happens too, but
yeah. And so there's that, but there's also like the idea that they felt lived in a way that a lot of other heroines don't right now. Like we've hit this area of like female protagonists where they're a little bland because I think people are afraid of seeing them in less than flattering ways. And so in this film, you're absolutely allowed to see these characters in different modes, right? So you have their super glam, like concert mode, but then you also see them like, gunning for the couch and like, they want to relax. And like, there's a whole thing where Rumi runs out and she's like in her pajamas, right? And like, that feels so real and it makes her feel like an actual person.
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff goes a long way. And do I think that like the characters, particularly Zoe and Mira, are a little less than fleshed out? Sure. But I chalk that up to, okay, if we get sequels, then the movie 2 can be Zoe's movie and movie 3 can be Mira's movie or whatever. And they can alternate the central protagonist. Or, I mean, if they just made another one that's all about Rumi, that's fine. But like, if they wanted to alternate and like each movie of a trilogy focuses on a different girl, totally fine. Like that's a valid approach. So maybe they'll do that. I don't know. But like, I'm okay with them being a little more support role here and not as fleshed out because I felt like Rumi was fleshed out. And so that's totally fine with me. But all that said, like I was on board with all of the character stuff, and then suddenly you get like the demon, like the antagonist, and all the other. There's only one of the demons, the leader, that ever really gets much screen time. The others are joke kind of characters.
Yeah.
But even still, they felt menacing. They felt threatening. And the romance that blossoms or friendship that blossoms is believable because it feels like it takes its time getting there and they never overdo it. There's not like a big moment of like, and now we're a couple.
Yeah, you're my boyfriend now.
Yeah. It's totally like believable in its way. And so, yeah, man, I just enjoyed so much about the movie that yes, by the time that third act has some problems, and it does have some problems, I was just on board and I was along for the ride and I was having fun, and its twists and turns I really enjoyed. So I don't know, man, I enjoyed it. And like I said, I've been listening to the music like on my own free time.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, cool. Like I dig it. And I don't know why, like, cause I've never wanted to listen to K-pop.
Yeah.
I've never sought it out, and I don't think I will now. But this soundtrack I dig. So, but I also have a soft spot for like movie soundtracks, right? So like,
but you have context for this music. So you're...
there's an emotional attachment around the story. So like, cool. But yeah, man, I enjoyed so much about the movie. I absolutely am going to watch it again. I would absolutely buy it again, like on Blu-ray if they ever decide to release it on Blu-ray, which I hope that they will. Yeah. But I enjoyed so much about the movie, and we can talk spoilers if you want to, but like, but yeah, like my general thought is if you're on the fence about whether or not to see this, first of all, if you have Netflix, it's right there. Just watch it.
It's right there.
If you don't have Netflix, so I think you should sign up for Netflix to watch it. It's worth the price of a month of Netflix. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
You get a lot for that price. So I would say yes.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Netflix for a month, watch K-pop Demon Hunters, enjoy it for a month, and then cancel it if you want to. But
watch some Black Mirror, binge some other stuff.
Seinfeld's on Netflix. Come on, man.
That's true.
But all that said, is this worth like signing up for Netflix for? Sure, be a part of the cultural conversation.
You win, Netflix.
You win. It's fine. Like, I think this is a good movie.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why it's breaking all the records that it's breaking. It is now the most watched movie on Netflix of all time.
It's crazy that Red Notice held that title for as long as it did, because it's such a when I heard that, I was like,
what movie?
Red what? Yeah.
Yeah, literally same. I was like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember that thing happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who watched it.
I'm pretty sure that was a lie. I don't think that anyone watched it.
I don't know, dude.
I think they committed to that PR stunt and they had to like
follow it through.
Hold on to it.
I think Dwayne Johnson just watched it a bunch of times. Do we know that all those views were unique views, or they were all coming from one household?
Well, yeah. Or did he buy millions of laptops and phones?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He has a whole army of like of drone people,
like little Doom bots.
Yes, little rock bots. That's what they're called, the Rockets. And yeah, man. But yeah, it did that, like the soundtrack. Oh, and I think it was like, I'd have to fact check myself here, but I think it was number 1 on the Netflix charts for 7 weeks in a row, which has never happened.
Wow.
The single Golden from the film made it on the Billboard Top 100, and in fact was number 1. May still be sitting at number 1 at the time of this recording. I think it was like top 10, the Billboard top 10. 3 of them were Huntrix songs at one point. So like this thing is doing crazy numbers across the board, film, music, everything. And of course, Netflix announced that they're doing more with it. Right. So there's going to be at least a sequel, maybe 2.
See, that's the thing. I would watch more of these.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a world and a story worth continuing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, naturally they're going to make that.
I mean, you don't see those kind of numbers and then not.
Well, let's pack it up.
Yeah, all right, that's it. We made our money. Which I do want to talk about the business side of this too, but we can do that in a while. I don't know if you've read any of the business side of this. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it. So, and then we'll jump into spoilers. So, the business side of this thing. I don't have the article in front of me, so I'm going off memory here, but. Pretty sure most of what I'm about to say is true. Sony Pictures Animation Division is the company that put up the money for the film. So the production budget was $100 million. So that $100 million was, the creation of the film, the creative creation of the film. When it came time for the release, Sony got cold feet and decided not to release this in theaters, though that was the plan. And I think they thought maybe this wasn't going to hit. So instead, they sold the rights, the distribution rights of the film to Netflix for $20 million. And yes, that's an $80 million loss, but I think they would still be raking in some of the money in some capacity, though it'd be at a much smaller percentage than they would have if they had just distributed it themselves. So, but they sold the rights for $20 million. Netflix, snatched it up.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, sure. They believed in it and they distributed it and it shot, viral. It went viral, right? So great, cool. Then it got so big that Netflix is like, well, cool, we're going to put this in theaters. And so they did the sing-along version in theaters. Yep. It made, tons of money, and it's one weekend it was in theaters. It was number 1 at the box office, though it was playing in like half the theaters of the number 2. Let me pull it up really quickly. I think it made like $18 million in its one weekend that it was out. But again,
the Bloomberg headline that I see when I Google the movie is that the movie proves an old Hollywood rule: nobody knows anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so it made $18 million in the one weekend that it was open, and it played in, like I said, half the number of theaters as the other films did that weekend. So it was up against like Weapons.
Yeah.
It was up against Freakier Friday. Like Freakier Friday opened, I think that was in week number 2. And like the top 5 was K-Pop Demon Hunters, Weapons, Freakier Friday, Fantastic Four, First Steps, and The Bad Guys 2, which I did not know was out yet. And so all of those movies were out. Like The Bad Guys 2, I don't know how long that had been open, but regardless, it pulled in on its opening weekend. I guess its opening weekend, it pulled in $21 million. And I'm sure it was in double the amount of theaters.
Yeah.
So K-Pop Demon Hunters is a verified success. But yeah, man. So obviously Netflix made a ton of money off of the release of the film. And now they're releasing tons of merch and all of that. And like, I believe that's all Netflix at this point. Like I think Sony might have a small stake in it, but it's all Netflix. Now, Sony's not out of the game yet, because if a sequel is announced, which it has been, then they have the rights to the creative part of it. So they're still in the game, but
maybe this time they'll put it in theaters.
But well, yeah, and like the thing, like I'm sure they will. But this is the big question. The big question is, had they stuck to the original plan and put this in theaters, would it have pulled anybody in? The answer is probably not. Like, would people have gone to the theater to see K-Pop Demon Hunters? I don't know. But the fact that it was on Netflix made it a cultural sensation.
Yep. And
that it would not have become otherwise.
Word of mouth. The thing is, we talk about this all the time. Like, what's the business model? What's the ideal thing to do? And I don't know if you could have put this on Netflix and in theaters for like a whole month, made that worth the cost. But at the same time, like it has to be worth it, because there are some people who don't have Netflix, won't sign up for a single film, but they might be like, well, if that's in theater, I'll just go see it in theaters. So I don't know. I'm fascinated endlessly by the business model of the simultaneous release, because it's like, yeah, what does make the most sense? Like, obviously, especially if outside studios financed this movie, they want some return, but the distributors, the streaming service, they want control too. And it's like, I don't know if it's best to just put it out for 2 weeks. Just people like, hey, if you want to see it in theaters, you got 2 weeks to do it. So if you're too busy, sorry, go sign up. Or if those people already have Netflix, I don't know.
I think nobody knows anything, right? It's exactly what you just said. Nobody
My
knows
assumption
anything.
is just like, well, if all we're doing is sending a file to a theater, like how much does it really cost to distribute the thing in a certain amount of theaters? Like, we can't be losing that much money.
Right. But nobody knows, right? Because here's okay. You would say, okay, if you want something to become a cultural sensation, you obviously, like, you don't know when that's going to happen, if ever. Right. So like, you can never account for that. You couldn't have even said like, oh, The Lord of the Rings was big when it came out. Yeah, but nobody knew it was going to be The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It could have just gone completely under the radar. Harry Potter, everyone knew, oh, the books are big, but were the movies ever going to hit?
Right.
There's no surefire hit. There's nothing. And so even in those cases, there's just no way of knowing. So with this, not based on anything, completely new filmmaking team, like everything's green. What do we do? I don't know. Like, throw it in theaters. Is anyone going to come out? I mean, it's a kid's movie. Theoretically, if you put it out at the right time, like when kids are out of school, maybe. But even then, I just don't think that it would have hit. And so, you certainly would have had 232 million views had it gone, or whatever it is, had it gone to theaters. You wouldn't have had 200 million tickets purchased, but you have 200 million views, because people can view it as many times as they want right now, for free, essentially. So like, I don't know, man. It's such a weird thing to try to quantify, like, who did the right thing here, because I've seen a lot of people hating on Sony, and they're like, oh, look what they did. They gave it up. And I'm like, but if they hadn't, they probably still would have lost money. And then K-Pop Demon Hunters wouldn't be getting sequels because nobody would have seen it.
Oh boy.
It's such a weird, like, catch-22 type area. It just like the alternative, I think, would have been hey, did you see K-pop Demon Hunters? No, I don't know what that is. or it would have been, oh yeah, I heard that was okay, but I'm not going to go spend, like to take me and my 2 kids, I'm not going to go spend $40 to go see this movie. So it wouldn't have caught. So I think the best thing to do is exactly what they did. And it happened to work out because now they get to rake in the money on a sequel.
Right.
They gave it away this time.
Yep.
But now they get to rake in the money next time. And that's where that's like, people want to say bad business decision. I don't think so.
I mean, I also think about how Sony, of all of these studios, is still probably the most like true to the medium film studio, because it's like the only one that doesn't have its own streaming service.
Yeah.
So like, even if they take a risk on a film like this and it doesn't pan out, it's like, well, I wonder if like they go to their boardroom and laugh like, hey, at least we're not paying an entire company and losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to operate a streaming service.
Correct.
And I wonder if because they very deliberately were like, we are never starting our own streaming platform. We are not part of that. And I think they look around sometimes and go, we would still be better off doing licensing deals with these distributors and maybe losing money here and there on, the wrong project than doing that and losing money
monthly. Yeah, right.
Hand over fist.
Yep.
As much as like Netflix, like, hey, we got this cultural moment and people are going to sign up. It's like, okay.
Yeah. My thought is like, okay, if we're talking about the business decision, did Sony make a good decision?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that if they made a good conscious decision, but it ended up being a good decision.
Yeah.
I think had it not hit, had it not been a big phenomenon, then it probably would have been a bad decision. But then again, it probably would have been a bad decision on Netflix's part too, if that was the case. The fact is, it worked out because the film was so successful. It worked out best for both people, both companies. Netflix certainly made a good decision, and they look better because they invested in a filmmaker's vision. Like, it feels like Sony gave up on the vision and Netflix swooped in and saved a creative's vision. And so it's certainly a better look for Netflix. But Sony at least gets to make money on its sequel. Even if they still look a little bit like, they sold out at the end. Like, hey, we promise this is going to get distribution. Hey, we'll give you $100 million to make it. And at the last minute, we rip it away from you and you can't. We're not going to release it the way we always said we would. So anyway, who knows? But all I'm going to do is like play devil's advocate here and say, if you're out there going like, look at Sony, they made the worst decision possible. It kind of worked out.
Yeah. And it can. I continue to be confused at it. But yeah, we're all on this fun little ride where
we'll see what it is.
Yeah, we just see what it is, and it's like it's just this big old gamble every time for these studios. And like, I guarantee if this hadn't been a hit for Netflix, like, would have gotten fired just for making the wrong bet.
Yep, 100%.
Lord,
I know.
No one's happier for the success of this movie than those people.
Than the financial backers.
Thank God I get to live another day to gamble on another project for Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And more power to them.
Yeah.
As long as the lesson they're learning from this is invest in a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Like this is like, obviously Maggie Kang directed and wrote this, and this is kind of her baby. Invest in her vision. You know what I mean? And it works out. This is unique to her.
Always trust Apple Hands.
Always trust Mr. Apple Hands. Yeah, man, but let's talk spoilers for a second.
Yeah.
So I don't have a whole lot here, but I do want to talk about some of the like the detriments of the film. So by the third act, I think probably at the end of the first act, we understand that Rumi is half demon. And this is like a great reveal. I thought it was a great reveal moment because it happens during song, which is a real like musical thing to do, right? Like this could have been a like the songs were just asides, but they treat it like a honest to God musical where these musical numbers progress the story. And so, yeah, you find out that Rumi is part demon and obviously dealing with tons of like shame and guilt and like having her walls up and being secretive with her friends because of it. She's afraid of what they'll do if they find out. And so all of this is true. And by the third act, it's revealed to her friends that she's part demon. They kind of reject her and she runs away. So setting the stage for the grand finale, the Saja Boys, the demon boy band, are starting to lure everyone to this giant arena, and where they will steal all their souls. Rumi goes to Celine, which is like their mentor, and which was kind of an underwritten part, and I feel like she should have factored more into it. And from what I understand, in the original drafts, she did. But she goes to Celine and says, like, I need help, like whatever. And Celine is like, you cover this up, don't. Yeah. We have to just like cover up and suppress all of this. And so Rumi says, well, this is not what I want. Like, if that's what it means to seal the Han Moon, then I don't want to do it. Right. And then like the next time we see her, she's in the arena and she sings this climactic song to like, fight the demons and drive them back. And all those souls there in the process of sealing, like she's reigniting them to love or whatever. And like, whatever things. The decision because in that scene with Celine, she asks for Celine to kill her. She like hands her the sword. It's like, just kill me. Yep. And then the next thing she does is she goes in to sing the song. And I'm like, I feel like we missed something there. That was a big character decision that got it happened off screen, to go from kill me because I'm worthless to, well, I'm not going to seal the Han Moon if that's what this means. And then she does this, but I don't know what by singing this is actually going to accomplish, or what she's decided, like how this is different than what she's been doing. I do think there's an emotional core to it, but I think it's undercut by the fact that I think we're missing a scene or two. And maybe, yes, it's great that the girls, that Zoe and Mira were there, also about to have their souls stolen, but it may have been better had they all gone to Celine, and this was Rumi's big moment, and Celine calls the other girls there to like, okay, we tried this other way. We were going to hide it. We were going to like push the demons back. And once we sealed the Han Moon forever, then, you'd be free of this. That didn't work. So now I have no choice, but Zoe, Mira, kill her. And you can have like this big fight scene between the three of them. And so you have the moment where essentially becomes three scenes. There's the first scene where they find out she's a demon, the second scene where they fight, and then a third scene of redemption. Where the three come back together. As it is, we have the scene where they find out and then the scene of redemption. But there's nothing in between to make that redemption, make it emotional. So all that said, I would change that. I would, make whatever Rumi's decision is, how she's going to fight back against the demons. It's unclear what her plan is because she decides it off screen, and whatever her big like epiphany is, this big change happens off screen. So I certainly would change that. Third act just feels rushed, right? Like it's all within the context of one song. Rumi starts to sing, the crowd sings with her, the girls reunite, and then they defeat the demons. It's all in that one sequence. I would absolutely have moments of winning and losing in that climax, so that when it finally, because as it is, like I forget whatever the name of the big Satan is in this,
the great Satan,
Guima, maybe, something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Guima. So Guima, like by the time he comes in as an actual, physical force against the girls, there should be a lot more of like his power. He's eaten a bunch of souls. He should be super powerful. I expected him to take physical form, whatever, maybe that's for a sequel. But regardless, I expected a lot more of like them initially fighting him, losing, fighting back, and then that roller coaster up and down of it. And as it is, it's just they sing and they win.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of a roller coaster to it. And then lastly, I wrote that the demons throughout the film never prove much of a physical threat to the girls. They always dispatch them really easy. There's only one scene that I can think of, and it's in the bathhouse where they seem to be struggling, and it's Zoe and Mira are saying to Rumi, like, we need your help. But Rumi's just been discovered that she's part demon by the Saja boys, and they cover her up, and she goes to help her friends. And there's like a slow motion shot of like Zoe and Mira, like back to back saying, we need your help, Rumi. And they're overrun, but it doesn't feel a little bit like it doesn't feel to me that they're overpowered. It feels like they're outnumbered. And so to me, I wish that the demons felt more physically capable, and that the girls struggled with them, because as it is, they always dispatch them easily, which I understand. Do that, sure, at first.
Yeah.
Like the status quo is, this is really easy for us. Yeah. So that when everything starts to pile up and stack up, and the shame and the guilt, comes in between them, and then they can't handle the demons anymore because they're not working together as a team, because Rumi is all secretive suddenly, and like
weapons don't work as well or something.
Yeah, some sort of like physical problem with them fighting. They can't fight as effectively, and the demons are stronger than ever, because they're, being fed by Guima, who's getting stronger, and the stronger he gets, the stronger they get. And I wish I felt that physically, where the girls could have been killed at any moment. It's a kid's movie; they're not going to get killed, but although she asks her to kill her, but I wish there was that moment where like, I don't know if we can beat these demons. Like, these demons are more powerful than any demons we've faced before. They're the same demons, but somehow they're more powerful. Why? If they had fixed those three problems, this probably would be a 5-star film for me. I really enjoyed so much about the film. It feels weird to even like critique those elements, because I hardly counted against the film. I was having too much fun, but if we're gonna critique something, that's the critique. I wish that third act worked a little better. In the sequels, I think they can rectify some of these problems for sure. And I don't know, it feels like maybe the film had some sort of trouble behind the scenes. Like, I don't know if the studio toyed with the story a little bit just to try to make it more palatable, or who knows what, but like, it does feel like maybe there was something to it. So who knows? But regardless, maybe the next time they'll have more trust in Maggie Kang and Chris Applehans, and give them, the leeway to do what they want. And the last thing I want to say is, like, people are comparing this to Frozen, because that's a very similar, like, a cultural moment, and sort of the whole thing of like,
conceal
don't feel.
Yeah.
It's kind of in this.
Sure.
But I want to point out that I think this is very different. In Frozen, the idea is conceal this thing about you, and until you embrace this thing about you, you will not be fully you. And so you have to embrace the powers you have. Yep. Let it go. Let all that go and be you. With this is different. This is about shame. And so what this is I feel shame for what I am, and for this part of me, but it's never embrace that part of you. Instead, it's don't be ashamed. Move past it. Don't let that define you. And so this is way more akin to something like, like addiction, or some sort of like, they even call the things on her patterns. So you could say like, my patterns of behavior are in my past. They're part of me, but they don't define me. So it is not embrace this closeted thing about you and bring it to the light. Instead, it's this thing happened, move on.
Yep.
It is more essentially let it go. This is not you. That does not define you. Now be who you want to be. And that is, I think, a better message. And I think it's more applicable, at least to me at this stage in my life. I'm not like, maybe it resonates differently with different ages, but like with me, the idea of like, be who you've always wanted to be. Well, dude, I'm 36. Like I'm who I am. You know what I mean? But if you tell me the things in your past don't define you, decide today what you want to be and be the thing.
Yeah.
That's way more applicable to adults and to people who have already bypassed that era of like, who am I?
Right.
It's like, I know who I am, but the things in the past are in the past.
Well, and you may still carry shame about those things because it's something you wouldn't choose today. It feels like a fresh choice. It feels like as if you made that choice yesterday when you were a different person.
Yes.
But it's like, it's sort of saying that like those immutable things about you that you didn't choose about yourself don't have to figure into the choices you make at all.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
She doesn't control that her father was a demon, and so that therefore she's a demon. It's like, well, what really matters is, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you act like a demon, or are you good?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like, that probably doesn't matter then.
Exactly. This secret thing doesn't define you. It's what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
Batman's a demon.
Yeah, Batman. But yeah, man. I guess that's the last thing I want to say is like thematically, I really resonated with the themes here a lot. The idea, again, at this stage in our life, in our 30s, we kind of know who we are and all of that. But the idea of not carrying the shame around and the guilt around of past mistakes, regret, not like hiding that and carrying it and like assuming that your friends are going to hate you when they find out about that or whatever. Like, I think that's a really healing message, to just like, dude, it's in the past. Move on, be who you want to be now. And, Rumi, maybe that is the decision that Rumi makes is I am who I am, but I'm going to be someone new now. I'm going to be someone different. And so her going to fight Guima at the end is not an embracing of the demon, but it's that's not me. I am going to fight you like I always said I was going to fight you. And maybe that's the point. I just wish it was driven more story-wise. If it's like, I'm just going to fight you until I can't fight you anymore. And to me, that's a deeply like spiritual message, even to say like, I'm going to fight against this evil part of me until the day that I die. And I will win that fight. And that is like, I don't know. I think that's super mature for a kid's movie. Yeah. And an 8-year-old is not going to get that.
Right.
But a 30-year-old watching it will. And so, yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I thought it had a great message, and, I'll certainly watch it again. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, one last thing. Did you realize that Daniel Day Kim and Yoonjin Kim are both in this?
I forgot to mention that. So I heard their voices and I was like, I think that's Daniel Day Kim and Yoonjin Kim. And I thought, pretty racist of me to assume that the only two Korean actors I can name are in this movie. And I looked at the credits, I was like, it is them.
It's them.
I was right.
Yeah, yes. And then Ken Jeong was their manager, which weirdly I didn't recognize off the top.
I knew that it was somebody, but I couldn't tell.
It sounded like Bill Hader to me at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that Bill Hader?
For a while I thought it was Patton Oswalt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For a while.
So Ken Jeong was definitely not doing his typical Ken Jeong-isms, but yeah.
I think he didn't have to pander to an American audience for once.
Yeah, right. It wasn't Americans being like, you're the weird guy.
Be the funny Asian doctor.
Right. Whereas Koreans are just like, hey,
You just talk.
You're a guy.
Just talk, and that's
Cool.
enough for us.
Great. Cool. Great.
That's all I've wanted.
Never wanted to show my wiener.
I got. Do you see what I have to do for these mongrels in the U.S.
For the American audiences?
I got into comedy to be taken seriously. All right.
Said no one ever.
Goodbye, everybody. Oh, Jesus.
Oh
shit.
Oh, Hooper died on my sofa.
What's in this coffee?
Help. Never wanted to show my wiener.